Hi, welcome everyone. John is Samuel, and I'll be your moderator for the session. Dr. Dansu, thank you for joining us. I see you already here and you are early. Thank you for joining us. Yep. Udona, thank you for joining us. We hope you get the best out of the session for today. Michael Okun, sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. Thank you for joining us as well. I hope you are also ready to follow on with the hands-on, because it's not going to be so much of talk, but more of a hands-on. Taiwo, thank you for joining us as well. I see you are trying to join. We'll be starting within a short while. I think we'll just give 5 minutes or 5 minutes, I think, or maybe 3 minutes for others to join us from wherever they are. Doc, I know this must be pretty early for you, but I think you should be fine.
That's fine. We are good. Personally, I don't even think. Okay, well, we can just wait for some people, though. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Agbo Christiana, thank you for joining us as well.
I guess we can spend that time trying to know those who are in already. So when it's time, then we just kick off.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody joining us would like to introduce themselves. For myself, okay, I would probably go first. I am a master's student at Carnegie Mellon University at Rwanda, and I'm doing my master's program in information technology. Previously, I finished from Federal University of Technology, MENA, where I read applied, pure and applied math. So, any other person aside our guest speaker that wants to introduce himself or herself?
Hello.
Yeah. Thank you
so
for.
Do I need to put on my camera?
If you want to.
All right. So I'm Michael, and I'm joining from Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. I had my first degree from University of Ilorin, and I'm doing my master's in mathematics with a focus on curriculum content, and currently working on mathematical assessment. And I've done some work on educational data mining in the past.
That's great. Thank you for that introduction, Michael. Any other person wants to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon.
Yep.
I'm Agbo Christiana from University of Abuja, PhD student, University of Abuja, applied mathematics.
Wow. Great to have you as well.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Annie Okoli, thank you for joining us. We are just doing some bit of brief introduction of ourselves before we start. In the next 1 minute, we'll be starting. Any other person wants to introduce himself or herself?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Anokoli, PhD student, University of Lagos, applied mathematics.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Annie.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other person? Okay. I see we have got quite a number of persons as well. Taufik, thank you for joining us. Okeke, thank you for joining us. Samuel, thank you for joining us. I think it's about time we'll start so that we can have a good experience while we wait for others to join. So this is Black in Maths Association, and we are a non-profit organization focused on mathematics, but then and its impact, particularly in Africa. And so we have lots of persons that are members from different parts of the world, from Uganda, from Rwanda, from Nigeria, from other parts of the world as well. And then we have two main things that we do. We work together as groups for research purposes. If you check our website, let me just post that on the group chat. If you are not a member of the group, you could check out the platform. We have a number of research we've published and others that are still in the process that should be published before the end of the year. But then we have some bit of focus for now because of the kind of persons we have. And we still organize these kind of programs. We have, this is the third, I think we're having for the year. And we organize it quarterly, and it has been a great time, I must say. We organize it and we have different aspects. This time now we are covering some bit of hands-on experience with LaTeX. Previously, we had done some things around financial math and then with other things as well. So if you're not a member, it's not mandatory. You could always still get the link to attend, but I think there are lots of things you would gain owing from the people we have met. Somebody talked about being, I think 2 persons talked about being PhD students. You could get some bit of research as well to work on and then to publish, probably even before you publish anyone with the professor you're working with. And it's also a platform where you get to network with people and you get to know people better, as well as opportunities are also shared. And for members, usually they get first-hand opportunities when it comes to, especially the ones that are for specific persons. Because of the kind of network we have, we try to share those resources with them as well. So I think I will be sharing the link to the membership immediately the speaker takes over. And I think that's pretty much it. We don't have the main founder here. I hope you're going to join us briefly to just maybe share a few words with us. But then aside that, would jump in and just have the session immediately. So I think I'll just do a brief introduction of Dr. Emmanuel Dansu. He's going to be the facilitator for the hands-on experience on LaTeX today. Dr. Emmanuel Dansu is currently an assistant professor at the Ecology Integration Laboratory, graduates to School of Life Sciences, Toku University in Japan. His research interest focuses on mathematical modeling of population dynamics in ecology, epidemiology, and sociology. Dr. Dansu graduated with a first-class degree from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, where he also completed his master's degree. He then proceeded to Toku University in Japan for his doctorate degree, where he continues his research in population dynamics. Dr. Emmanuel, over to you. Thank you. And we are ready to get the best out of the LaTeX and then from there proceed to making use of it in our research. Thank you. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Great thanks to everybody who is in attendance already. It's good to know that we are in different parts of the world doing different things related to maths. My mentor is in the house. One of those people that really helped me with the whole LaTeX when I was just starting. Now that's Dr. Sam Ogunjo. I wonder why he's here right now. Maybe he wants to give us some new developments. Thank you so much for being here, sir. All right. Yeah. So yes, I think a brief historical background on LaTeX would be necessary. And of course, there's this whole talk about this whole, sometimes people don't really know how to pronounce it. So I just want to give a brief about that. Like LaTeX is either pronounced LaTeX or LaTeX. So you can choose how you want to pronounce it. So either of this will be fine, LaTeX or LaTeX. And it's a document preparation system that is widely used for typesetting scientific and technical documents. Of course, outside of LaTeX, what we are used to, I mean, I can switch between calling it LaTeX or LaTeX, but just know you can call it either of those. So, outside of it, right, we're used to, I remember when I wrote my bachelor's degree project, I had to use Microsoft Word. And, I worked with a supervisor that was, is this person that will stretch you, like make you write plenty and everything. In fact, I think of all the, okay, I mean, so far I've written a final year project. I've written a master's thesis and a PhD thesis. Of all of them, my bachelor's project is the bulkiest, you know. But I don't know if it was because I used Microsoft Word or something. I'm not sure. That might just be. So, you know, and I remember when you have plenty of equations to deal with in Microsoft Word, it can become quite a headache. But I mean, so I think I got into LaTeX maybe after youth service. You know, I had to just challenge myself to begin to use it, though the start was not easy. And gradually, what started then has become like, it's now a tradition in maths department in FUTA, because, you know, we started it, then we started spreading the news that, oh, as a mathematics person, this is something that will really make your work neater. It puts you in control of the work. Of course, when you start out, it looks like you're writing a program or something, but it's not like C# or all those kind of hardcore thing, but at least you just need to learn a few skills. And when you start, it's like a pain in the neck, like they say. But then as you go on, it's at some point you never probably want to go back to Microsoft Word again, you know. But of course, once in a while, if you have to collaborate with people on projects, especially if you're in my kind of field that is highly interdisciplinary, and you may need to work with people who are not mathematicians, we still go back and forth to Microsoft Word. But of course, most of the times LaTeX does the job. All right, so I mean, like I was saying, right, it's a document preparation system widely used for typesetting scientific and technical documents. It was created in the early 1980s, that's around when I was born, by Leslie Lamport while he was working at SRI International. So Leslie Lamport was the person that gave us LaTeX. Then before Leslie Lamport, right, there was someone else who laid the foundation, and that was Donald Knuth, who built LaTeX. Actually is built on top of TeX. You know, so TeX is the key thing. So you can see all kinds of TeX apart from LaTeX itself, but the key thing there is the TeX. So LaTeX is built on top of TeX, right, which is a typesetting system developed by Donald Knuth in the late 1970s. So TeX 1970s, LaTeX came 1980s, built on top of TeX. And of course, Lamport's goal was to make TeX more accessible by creating a set of macros that simplify the process of document formatting. So this led to the creation of LaTeX, which allows authors. So what Lamport basically did was to, you know, if you're using TeX, you needed to work on the formatting and all of that. But Lamport's intervention was to now make sure that, oh, you can focus on your content, because the formatting, well, if you have to do anything formatting, all you just need to do is call the right packages, and then, you know, everything about formatting is taken care of. You know, so that simplified the process of document formatting. So this led to creation of LaTeX, which allows authors to focus on the content of their documents rather than the formatting. The current version we all use is LaTeX 2e, which was first released in 1994 and has been incrementally updated since 2015. So if you use, okay, I'm still going to talk about some, I don't know, should I call it IDEs for LaTeX, for TeX, say integrated development environment. You know, if you use Python, for instance, you know, you can write Python using Jupyter Notebook. You can write it using Google Collaboratory. You can write Python using Spider, you know, different things, PyCharm and all of that. So LaTeX has something like that. So it depends on the environment you are used to. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So, but I mean, for me, I've been using, I think I started out using, I was using the core TeX, where you have to type out every line, you know. But then after some time, I upgraded to Technic Center. I think I remember moving to Technic Center. I think I got to know about Technic Center from Dr. Sam Ogunjo. And then after some time, you know, I just, you know, as we do all these things, we try to get better and better, you know. So at some point, I stumbled on Tech View, Tech Maker, Tech Maker, and then I saw Leaks, LYX. I also saw Tech Studio, but somehow I fell in love with Tech Studio. So I've been using Tech Studio since maybe 2013 or 2014. So once in a while, I try to upgrade. If you check the ranking of these things, it looks like Tech Maker is number one. I don't know if it is still occupying that position, but I know after Tech Maker comes like maybe Tech Studio, and then maybe Leaks. I mean, in top 3 for environments where people write LaTeX. So, I mean, in no particular order, you can think about Tech Maker, you can think about Tech Studio, you can think about Leaks. You know, you still have Technic Center and every other one like that. But for me, I'm really comfortable with Tech Studio. So do we have people here who have never done anything using LaTeX? Anybody here? You can just raise your hand. You can just raise your hand. Just click. You can find an icon to just click something showing that you're raising your hand, or you can also unmute your mic briefly and say something, or you can type in the chat. I'll see all that. Anyhow you choose to let me know. Let me see. Anybody? Okay, interesting. It looks like everybody here has used LaTeX in one way or the other. Nice. Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Their class name.
Oh, okay. Taiwan. Yeah, this is my brother. Taiwan is here. He said he has not. Nice. Okay, so I mean, okay. Who else is speaking? Go ahead. Infinix Smart, we would like you to, if you can use your first and your full name like we instructed. Normally, I didn't want to admit HP and Infinix Smart 5 because people get hijacked me, so I want to know everybody's identity. So for HP, you discovered I hesitated a bit before admitting you. So if you can see your full name, I think we really like that. So at least there's one person here, at least, who has never used LaTeX. And I'm telling you that this today can be your date of starting out, and then you can actually advance from there. Now, guaranteed, I cannot teach you everything you ever need to know in LaTeX. So all I'm going to do here is to introduce you to the basics, which you can build on. Oh, Johnny, are you okay? You're raising your hand about you've never used LaTeX before, right?
No, I've used. I'm only giving you thumbs up for what you're saying.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm just going to do here is to give you the basics you can build on to do your thing. Now, generally, we know that LaTeX is widely used by mathematicians and physicists, for instance. But then I also know people who learned LaTeX and they have made it into a business because I know somebody who writes CV for people using LaTeX because, of course, everybody's used to Microsoft Word. So just look for some very nice templates and then they make CVs for people like that. So even if you're not in core maths like that, LaTeX can still come in handy for you for whatever, any other thing you may want to use it for. So whatever I'm talking about today, I'm going to probably be focusing more on the Tech Studio that I'm used to. And interestingly, there's Overleaf. With Overleaf, you can collaborate with people. So most of the work we do at BMA, I remember the first project I did with BMA, we were 15 who did the work together. So all of us could get on the document, and wherever you are on earth, you can just get on, do your part of the work, and then we're meeting regularly to discuss all of those things. Interestingly, I think Overleaf, they have really tried for us. So now they are monetizing. So now only 2 people can edit a paper. And if you have more than 2 people, the rest of them will just, they can just be viewers. So it's either you pay or, of course, I mean, we have also Nigerians, we always find our way, right? So what some of us do is, since only 2 people can edit, if you have more than 1 person, so we can change. For instance, if we have 5 people working on a paper, of course, there's the owner. Then the owner has the power to make anybody editor. So anybody who needs to do something right now, we can be made the editor, and the other person who was editor could be made a viewer, and then we could keep moving around like that. And of course, the easiest way to go about it is to pay. But I mean, funding can be an issue most of the times. So I mean, all the stories are done. So if I wrote in the email I sent that the best way to enjoy this session is to have at least 2 devices. One, to see what I'm doing. That's my approach to when I'm even teaching things like Python, scientific computing. By the way, I have a YouTube channel where I teach different topics on mathematics. And then I also I have a playlist I'm doing already. I think I've done like 17 or 18 videos on scientific computing using Python. So it will keep growing, so in case you want to be part of that, you can actually I'm dropping my YouTube link in the chat right now. So if you want to follow up on that, you are very free to subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube and see great content there on mathematics, on Python, and all of that. Of course, I get to talk about other things, but the core would be, somebody said I have 19 videos. Interesting. Somebody's already there. Interesting. So I have 19 videos on scientific computing currently. So that can also be useful. So my approach to teaching things like this is, I like to do it hands-on. of course, I also get to teach data analysis on some platforms. So I discovered that if people just watch videos and then they are not practicalizing, it can be quite a problem. So what I do is I try to make sure, so as I'm doing it, you're doing it at the same time. So if you have a question, you can know immediately, because sometimes when I'm doing it, you think you understand, but by the time you get back and you want to do it on your own, it can become like a problem. You can just see, and one comma, when we started out then with little guidance, I can be dealing with one comma for 2 weeks before I discover, oh, it's this comma that is causing the problem. So so here we are going to have a head start and keep moving on with that. Okay, so I'm assuming that you have never seen LaTeX before, even if you have. Or somebody saying, will you post the video on your YouTube channel? Now, this video, since it's on the BMA channel, on the BMA platform, we are going to post this video on the BMA YouTube channel. If Ebimo can help us get that, help us get the BMA YouTube channel. We are going to post that here too. But interestingly, everybody who registered, I think by the time I was closing the Google form, about 100 people registered. So everybody's going to get a link to the video too. So if you registered, not to worry, you're going to get a link to this video because we're recording this too, right? All right. So assuming you want to start out with LaTeX and you have not installed anything about LaTeX, so I just want to demonstrate. I'll share my screen so I can take us through all of that process. So the first thing you want to do is if you want to install LaTeX for the very first time, let me go here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is install MikTeX. So before you install tech, any of those things I've told you about, the background, the tech itself is actually this MikTeX. So just come to miktech.org. I'm going to drop this in the chat. So if you can also document this in case you don't have your device with you. So the first thing you want to install is MikTeX. Yeah, the BMA YouTube channel is there now, so you can subscribe to that. So you can also see previous webinars we've done. So this is miktech.org. This is the first place you go to, and when you get there, you try to install. Then you install MikTeX. Yeah, so come here. I think you have to look around. Where is this? Or better still, yeah, this is download here. So you can click on download, and then you look at, if you use Windows or Mac or Linux or whatever, you can click on that one. So for instance, if you use Windows, just click on Windows and then just click here and download. After it's downloaded, you run it on your computer. I have it here, that's why I'm not going to do all that. So that's the first thing you do if you want to set up your tech. So download and install MikTeX. Now, once that is done, you can then download and install anything you choose, be it TechMaker or Tech Studio that I use, or LaTeX. LaTeX is spelled LYX. All right. But for me, let me go by my bias. So just come here and do Tech Studio download. So you see Tech Studio, a LaTeX editor. Yeah, I think the word for it is editor. All right. So you can edit it using TechMaker or Tech Studio or LaTeX. So you can come here too. So the latest version is 4.82 for like this. So you can come here. So this is, if you want to do it for Windows, you come here, or you can click on download too, so that you can have options about. So this generally you have Windows here. And if you're using this, so the kind of configuration you use to, or can also decide what you have. Then Linux is there too. There's Gentoo Linux, Mac, if you're using Mac and all those, so you can choose your choice. Then install MikTeX, install Tech Studio or TechMaker or LaTeX or Technic Center or all of this. But Tech Studio is what I'm comfortable using, just like I've been saying. So then once you install all that, at the end of the day, you're going to get, so if all this goes, let's assume you've done all this. Okay. Did I share a link about Tech Studio? Let me go back to that. Sorry. I remember that I shared about TechMaker. Tech Studio. So you just do Tech Studio download, and then you click here. Okay, techstudio.org. Let me put that in the chat too. So you can just, so if you don't install MikTeX, Tech Studio or TechMaker or any other thing may not work. If you don't do that, it may not work. Now, for this, okay, somebody's hand is raised. Johnny, do you have something for us?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to say that the tech studio you're talking about, it's usually used when you want to work offline. While if you maybe if you have the necessary resources and maybe you want to work online straight with the overleaf, I guess it makes the work more easier. I don't know from my own end. So I just mostly stick with the overleaf.
Yes. Exactly. So I had to give this background, right? In case if you are somewhere with just your computer, you don't have internet and all that, you can still use Tech Studio. So I was going to talk about Overleaf next. So Tech Studio, Make Tech and Tech Studio, they are meant for your personal computer, and probably if you don't have any business online. So in fact, most of the times I use LaTeX on Tech Studio more than on Overleaf. I only get to use Overleaf when I want to collaborate with people but interestingly, you can have as many Overleaf documents as possible. And one thing Overleaf does for you, okay, I mean, that's where I'm actually going to next, right? So if you want to work on collaborative projects, so Overleaf can be the place for you. Like this is my own personal Overleaf environment right now, where I have some collaborative stuff going on. These people that are entering with numbers, I don't know. I think I should stop admitting people who don't have their full name because the instruction has been given. Okay, so if you know that person who is okay, maybe you can't see the number is 86709439472. I wonder what that is. So I would rather not admit the person. So if you know anybody who is trying to gain entrance who doesn't have their full name, maybe you can tell them. So yeah, so this is my own LaTeX environment, for instance. Now, so if you are new to Overleaf, so if you are new to Overleaf, you can create one. You can just go so let me just say overleaf.com. Let me remove all this. So just go to, okay, let me just put that in the chat too. So with Overleaf, the one advantage of Overleaf is that you can get some errors, using tech if you don't use the right packages and everything. But Overleaf can still run with some of those errors. But of course, it's very good if you know how to debug, just like in programming too. You need to be able to know how to debug. So Overleaf is good for collaborations with other people and things like that. So if, you can create a project, just come to new project, or sometimes it may even start with maybe you want to even do your CV using Overleaf. You can just come and say something like Overleaf CV template. So you can start with a template. You click on that, right? And then, so here you have a gallery of resumes, even on the Overleaf page. So you can just go around. So most of these things, it's like you already have people who have something there. So you just click it. So you look around and then, okay, decide, okay, I like this format by, so of course, if you are doing an academic CV, it's also different from maybe if you're applying to the industry. So this looks more like an industry CV, this Marisa Mayer stuff. So you can just open it as a template. It takes you to that place. And then you can then do whatever you want to do here. Okay. So, but then before I do all that, let me go the brute force way of using. So you see so you see an environment where you type and then this comes on. You type here and this comes on. So for instance, if I want to change Marisa Mayer, so if I choose this template, all I just need to do is come. So just look around and change her name to my name to make my own CV. So where I have Marisa Mayer, I can just do my name. Say Emmanuel. Okay. Emmanuel Dansu. So I just recompile here and all that comes up like that. Then I can go on and do businesswoman, I'm proud, whatever. You just you change it to your own thing. So that's how simple it can be using Overleaf. But for the purpose of this class, I'm just going to focus on let me focus on Tech Studio. Now, interestingly, whatever you have on Tech Studio, you can just copy it to Overleaf and run it and then continue from there. That's really important. So if you in your email, I sent you a document we are going to work with. So it can be as hands-on as possible. I know everybody may not have the You may not be following along as I'm doing this. But then when it's all done, I'm going to send you the full thing. I'm going to send you the tech document and everything that you're going to see. But for now, it's important if you can follow, do as I do, if possible. And if not, you can check that out later. So I'm trying to get the document on my phone so we can follow it. Where is it? Okay, I think it's downloaded already. You have people in the waiting room. Okay. Oh, right. Just a minute as I get the document here. Okay. Yeah, so that thing we have in front of us, right? Or better still, maybe to save time, I can just okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be switching between LaTeX since I already have the code here. So I don't start to write it all over again and waste time. So I'll copy code from LaTeX and then run it line by line on Text Studio. I think that will be an effective way of going about it. So let me create like a new, let me see, what can I do? The best thing I can do here. Let me see. Okay, good. So let me copy this document now. So I just copy this. This is one project like that. So I want to copy it and then I want to call it Math Typesetting. Math Typesetting with LaTeX. Okay. And then, okay, LaTeX, that's a special way of spelling it. So I just copy that. Okay. So then I just click here and it takes me to the environment. Okay. So here now, I can just choose to copy and paste. Copy and delete all of these things. Okay. So it's all gone. So we have a blank environment right now. So now there's nothing to recompile. That's why it's giving me all this. Now, so if you want to work with LaTeX for the first time, something is really important. If you look at my Text Studio environment right here, you see the first line, you have to determine, so you have all the preliminary stuff. So, okay, let me see. The first thing is you have to, first of all, do your document class. So I just come here, I say document class. Then here you can already decide some things. What kind of paper are you using? Is it A4 paper? This is one advantage of using Text Studio, right? You can have so if you still want to master this thing, if you focus on overleaf, you won't really know so much. I think I can say that. So if you have document class, so for the interesting. Let me go to wizards, right? If I do quick start, yeah. So with quick start, you can see the options easily. So now the first thing is the quick start asks you for the options you want to go for. For instance, what document class do you want? Do you want to write an article? That's where you choose it. Like if you're writing a paper for publication in a journal, so the document class you choose is article. If you want to write a report, maybe a field trip report, so you can go for the document class report. If you want to write a letter, that's what you have. You won't see all of this on Overleaf. So Overleaf is there for you to, if you have already mastered something. Okay, well, the interesting thing is that you can always get templates for these things, for Overleaf, and then just go on editing. But if you really want to know what is what is happening in the background, then if you want to write a book too, I've been writing books using Microsoft Word. My next book, I'm thinking I should so I write and publish on Amazon, right? So my next book, I want to put myself under pressure to use LaTeX to write it. So probably I'll eliminate the need for a content designer, because so once you can get the design right with LaTeX already, so it will be probably all ready for publication on Amazon directly. So I'll probably come for this book document class when that happens. And then there's Beamer. Beamer is for making slides. So instead of PowerPoint, you can use Beamer. So these are possible document classes. So, but most times you use article. Maybe you just want to write something. You just want to write a paper. You want to write a class, like I say, of course, if I want to teach and I want to use I want to do whatever for like presentation, I'm going to use Beamer, for instance. So these are possibilities you're going to explore. So, but we can search for article here. Then that thing you're seeing here, okay, when I come here and I do this one now, okay, I can't move until I come here. Okay, let me go back. So here now, this article you find here is part of that. So you can put letter, you can put Beamer, you can put report, you can put whatever your document class is. Then of course you can also decide the kind of paper you want to use. So let me go back to that again. This card for sure. So let me go again. I go to wizard. So that the wizard will give you options on starting out. So you have if you have chosen article, right, then the typeface, that's like the font size. So there are only 3 options: 10 points, 11 points, 12 points. So most times we go for 12 points, right? And then what kind of paper do you want to use? So if you're a printer, you can choose your paper here. So do you want to use A4 paper, A5 paper, B5 paper, letter paper, legal paper, executive paper for your printing? You can choose that. You know, most times you just do A4 pages, right? So you can choose these options right here. So you have that. Then this font encoding, I've not really dug deep into this, even in all my 1 decade of using LaTeX. So I don't really care about this. So you may want to, if you're inquisitive, you may want to check this out. But this is about font encoding. I'm very sure Dr. Sam will know about this. It's too short for me. So then when you go to language, of course, if you use, for instance, you can even use LaTeX to write in. For instance, I speak some French, so if I want to do some documents in French one day, I can just come here. I've had to do document. I also speak Japanese, right? So I've had to do some documents in Japanese, and this was really useful. So if you use Arabic, you can do that too. So, but most of the times I just use none, and that goes. Then this whole title thing, this is where you, for instance, this is where I can say LaTeX. Mathematical typesetting. So this is even a fast way, right? Because when I started out, then you have to write all these things by yourself, like that. Then the author, you can now say it's Emmanuel. Let me just say EJD here to save time. So you can put the author's name there. Then of course, what kind of options do you want? Do you want a document to be landscape? Do you want it to be draft or final? Is it 1 side or 2 side? Do you want to open right? Now this whole book thing comes in here. Is it open right or open any? Is it 1 column or 2 column? You want to, so you are writing for some journals and they want the paper to be 2 column. So title page, no title page, do you want all of that? So if you want a title page, you can click the option here. So like if you're writing a report, right, or your final year project, or even your thesis, you may have to work on this title page. Things get complicated when you want to go to the whole thesis thing. Interestingly, right, lately with the coming of AI, there's this how do I refer to this person now? There's this mentee of mine, let me use it that way, like it's hard for me to use that word most times. So he's been challenging me that we should write some books on mathematics. Like he finished from engineering department and is very good with mathematics, so he wants us to write books on engineering math. So we started our first project on so we are writing about we want to start with ordinary differential equations. That's one book. Another one with partial differential equations, and then then probably we can now do maybe some numerical stuff like that. So when we started out, right, so we needed to format, because ultimately we are thinking of Amazon, right? So we needed to format the whole thing. So it was like, oh, when I see people doing formatting, I'm like, how do they really do it? Because I've not really had time to sit down with that. So, but with AI, right, you can actually, so it was now easy. I could say, okay, I want the margin to be this, I want this to be that, so I get all the Amazon requirements, then throw it for ChatGPT, and then it gives us how to format that, and then we are on with the project. Now it's in the youth camp, so we've not been working for 2 weeks. So with AI, like, right, you can actually speed up your learning in some of these things. Okay, so you can choose if you want title page or not. So here, let's not bother about any of that. So I just go. So once you click OK here, all the options you have picked, see what it turns out to be. Turns out so that, okay, for the documents class, you've chosen 12 points, A4 paper, article. Then now these are for the text encoding and all that. Now you have this input tank, I sincerely don't know what that means till tomorrow. And that's very interesting, right? Because I've been doing it for more than 10 years. Then, of course, I know about if you are using AMS, is American Mathematical Society, so they have defined symbols for mathematics. So if you want to put graphics into your work, you have that. Then this is the title. So normally when I started out, then I had to type these things out line by line. Like you type the document class out by yourself. You type out the packages you want and everything. So this is like a way to start. But the minimum thing you need to run any LaTeX document is this. The minimum thing you ever need is begin and so to run any minimum things you need to run any LaTeX documents will be these three things: this document class, this begin document, and end document. So that's all you need. So normally back then, if you want to take away all those periphery, right, just say I mean, this has made it easy for us. So just a document class article, or whatever you want to do. Then after that, then most time with Text Studio, right, it can help you once you start typing something. It gives you options. So once you click on this, it just gives you begin document, end document. Then so everything you are doing now should now come in between begin document and end document. So with this, you can write anything. So every other thing is just Jara, like they say. So here, begin document, end document, and of course your normal hello world can come, right? Hello world. So with this is the smallest number of things you can do to get it. So you can see your hello world coming out here. So I do this here, then I use this to run and build and view. So it builds it and shows me the PDF. Then of course, if you just want to build another view, so you click on this, it doesn't change anything. So the minimum number of units of things you need to do to get to write a LaTeX theme is document class and choose the whatever it is. Then begin document, end document. With this, you can run LaTeX. You can keep going like that. So, but of course, because of whatever you may need, you can now begin to use all that. So having done this introduction now, so like I said, I'm just going to be copying from here, and then I'll take it from here to overleaf. So of course, first thing, document class, A4 paper and all that. So I'll take it to overleaf. Okay, I paste it here. So now this cannot be run this way because we need at least begin document and end document. But again, in that place now, you see we have some packages we need to use, and each one has been explained. So I'm just going to copy all this introductory thing before begin and end document, right? So I copy all of this and try to explain them on overleaf here now. So I put this. So even with this, you can still run these documents because begin and end document. In fact, if you try to run it, it's going to give you an error message like what you already have there. So you can see it's still giving us error message. So, but so you already know what all of this mean, right? So you have document class A4 paper 12-point article, but then from lines 3 to 12 now, you can have you can put your packages depending on whatever you want. Now you can see chemists can also use LaTeX. So in that case, you may need to install it to use some other packages that are specific to chemistry people, right? So you have use package AMS Math for advanced math typesetting. Then AMS info. So if you want some additional symbols, like all those the kind of R you use for real numbers and all of that. Then AMS fonts, you have all of that. Okay, well, symbol will be different from fonts, right? Symbols are mathematical symbols, Then AMS fonts, you can have all that. Then the geometry is about how you arrange the kind of margins you want, right? So here now you can even specify for that you want 1 centimeter across or 2 centimeter across, all that. You can do that. Then if you want to include graphics in your work, you have to use the package graphics. Pay attention to how the graphics is spelled so that you can, because it's not the graphics, it is graphic instead of, it is graphics with an X, not S. Okay. Now this float, I use this float. If you want to force, okay, I just copied and pasted and changed to float. So here for position forcing, for position forcing of graphics. So normally LaTeX has its own brain, right? Especially if you're writing.
Doc.
You said?
Yeah, somebody's asking a question in the group.
Okay,
Sure.
let me see. please, can we have these slides sent to our emails? I mean, I don't have slides, but you are going to, the PDF document has been sent to you already. But after now, you're going to get the link to the YouTube channel where this video is going to be posted, the BMA YouTube channel, that is. And you're also going to get this background to, okay, we can't share this link with everybody because we can only have 2 editors. But of course, I can put this in Notepad and send it to you also to work with. All right. So once it's all built. So no worries. You have all that covered. Okay. So float.
Sorry, Doc.
Okay, please.
I don't know if maybe if we have some persons that are following, maybe
Okay.
you just, when you are through, you just copy and send the stuff to the group, and then they can also be running on their own and be changing some things immediately.
Sure. Okay, so once I do a particular portion, I can post in the text, in the chat, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, nice. I'll do that. So once I get the simplest unit to run, I'll start doing that posting. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So so float may not always be necessary, because normally when you input graphics into a tech document, it goes to the best position it thinks. So you may be working on page 2, and then maybe there's little space for the graphics you want to put, and then it just goes, so it can go to the middle of page 3. So, but if you want to force the figure, I mean, I think it's figure. If you want to force the figure to stay where you want it to be, to come immediately where you want it to be, you can actually use this float. I'm going to explain that in a moment. Okay. So that's what this float thing is actually meant for, which I had to do so that you can see everything sequentially. So, but if you're writing papers, right, it doesn't matter that, you can say in figure 5, the figure 5 may not necessarily follow where you made the statements. It can go somewhere, and you have options like you can put it, you can keep it where in the current position, you can put it at the top or the bottom, or you can force it to be where it is at the moment. So I'm going to talk about all that. Then hyperref. Now, by the time this is built, right, like if you look at this now, if you look at when I run this, you're going to see, so these red lines you see is hyperref. So it means if I click on it, it will take you to where that thing is referring to is. So that's what the job of hyperref is. So, or maybe sometimes you want to cite a paper, you want to make it so that once you click on the paper, it goes to it. Once you click on the citation, it goes to the paper you cited. So that's what hyperref is meant for, and that is the essence of that hyperref package. So, in making your CV, you can make your CV in such a way that, so all the papers you cited, just like you put DOI links in your Microsoft Word papers, you can actually use this hyperref idea, so that if I have your CV, I can just click on the link to the paper you've cited, or maybe if you have something outside, maybe like a channel, a YouTube channel, like I told you about, you can just click on it from the CV and then it goes there. That's what hyperref does. So this is for hyperlinks in the document. And then use package multi-row. So if you want multiple row cells in tables, so like I try to do a simple table and a complicated table. That's why this is there. So if you want to put color in your tables, you have to use color TBL. Then if you want to use AMS theorem, so if you want to put theorems, like for people who are in pure maths, there's no how you won't do it you won't use theorems, lemmas, and propositions. So you need AMS THM. Like I told you, AMS is American Mathematical Society, and THM there will be theorems. So I'm going to see all of that, and then you can of course set your document geometry. Previously we saw the geometry here. So normally you can just say, even this / geometry margin equals 1 inch. I can just come before this and just say, and I just put this here, and I just said I'll just put that margin equals 1 inch. I can put it there. But another way to do this is just say / geometry margin equals 1 inch. That is, you set document margins with that. And of course, the title thing I showed you before, using Wizard in Text Studio. This is it. So I just say / title, then what is the title of what we're doing? Mathematical typesetting in LaTeX, and the author. So I can write my name. / is what takes you to another line. That's why I see everywhere there's / a new line starts. So it's more like I don't know how many people here remember the day of typewriters. That when you go, you do return carriage. I'm talking about 1990 something, like 1995 or 1996. So this / just takes you to the next line. So that's why by the time I run this now, you see that this first line is one line. Programs and organizing team lead goes to another line, and Black in Maths Association goes to another line, because the double backslash is taking them down like that. Then for dates, if you leave the dates open, like if you don't put anything here, it will give you today's date. But if you want to force it to have a date, so you type the date in yourself. So me, I type this in myself. Although if I remove it, it's going to give the same result, because today's date is the same as this. Now, this from lines 24 to 30 now is about, if you need to have theorems, you want to specify how those things should appear. So if you want to have theorem, so then you have theorem, then that's theorem as a section. You want theorems to come out as a section. Then in that case now, so for instance, you have lemma, theorem, lemma, proposition. So this is everything from lines 24 to 30 is actually to help you configure or format how your lemmas and theorems are going to look like. So this is where all of that is happening. So, you can have lemmas, proposition, corollary, definition, example, and remark. So this new theorem, all these new theorems are setting the pace for that. So next, I'm just going to copy the next chunk that will make the thing work. So if you want your title to show, your title will not show automatically. So that's why after begin document, you have to do make title. So without the make title, the title will not show, right? Then, of course, if you want to comment out something here, like you want something to just be there as, okay, probably you've already seen things like define theorem here. That percentage means if I remove the percentage now, that thing will be active. So it's active, but since that is just a comment, so it helps you to read the stuff, to know what's happening in that portion. Then this is make title. For this title to appear, I have to do this here. Then if you want table of contents, you need this one-liner. Then if you want to start from a new page, you need this new page thing. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to copy up to introduction now. All right. Then the question is, with all I've copied now, if I paste this, is this good? Can we go? Are we good to go yet? Can this be run? Can somebody just answer? I want to know if you're following. With all I have now, if I run this, will it work?
No.
No, why?
No, without the end document.
Lovely. Thank you, Dr. Diko. Thank you. So without the end document, interestingly, these things give you warnings. So you can see line 32 is telling you, see, I'm not complete. If you point at it, it's going to probably tell you something. So what is this telling us? It says unclosed begin document. So even if you don't know, like you can point at this red line and it tells you unclosed begin document. So it means we don't have end document. Thank you. So once I put end document, then we are good to go. So I've pasted begin document again. So I just change begin to end. Now you can see the trouble is gone. So from here onwards, we can have we have something we can implement. Okay. So now you can see we have something. I thought, what's happening here? Okay, why is this one good? Okay, because okay. Yeah, I get it. Because this starts from a new page, right? If I don't have this new page, just like I said, if you to comment something, you put % in front of it. So by putting % there now, it means new page is not going to work. So it means that the introduction can start immediately from under that place. So, but if you want this to start from a new page, so you remove the %. So % is for commenting. Like if you want to say something that you don't want to implement. So you see the title, this is it, and all this author, that's what it is. You won't see all the documents, class, and the packages, but they are there for whenever you need them. So because this content now is here because of this table of contents on line 36. Then what this introduction is going to is on a new page because of line 38, that new page. So you can see telling you introduction is on page 2. So if you go down there, you see that introduction. So now there are levels of what you can do. So because we are working in article, right? Because we're working on an article, I think Text Studio may be useful here to explain this. Because I'm working on an article, see the level, these are the possible levels you can have. So if you're working with a book, if you're working with a book can have parts. So a book can have part 1, part 2, part 3, and under parts you have chapters. So you can choose to have parts for a book, or you can choose to just go to chapters. So a book can also have under parts, you can have chapters. Under chapters, you have sections. But when you're working with article, the highest level of heading is section. Okay, and that's why if you go back there, you're going to see section. So under section, you can have subsection. Under subsection, you can have subsection. And then there are other things you can have. You can have paragraph, you can have subparagraph. Then if you don't want your part or chapter or section or subsection and all those things to be numbered, you put a star in front of them. You're going to see that when we talk about appendices, for instance. So we are going to see all that. I guess I can demonstrate that immediately. So here now you see you have introduction here, right? You have introduction and it is numbered. So if I don't want it to be numbered, I will just, because you're working with an article, the highest heading I can have is section, you know. So if you want to have part, that comes under book. Or if you don't want to use part, you can also use chapter under book. Then if you're working with a report can be in chapters too. You know, a report can be in chapters. But for an article, the highest thing you can have is section. But if you don't want the section to be numbered, you just put a star in front of the section, like we see now. So if I run this now, the number beside the section goes away. So you can just see we just have introduction, you know, and it's not numbered. But you know, in our case, we want it numbered, so I remove the star. Okay. So the number comes back. Then sometimes I remember back then I didn't used to like my one just standing like this without a dot after it. So in that case, so I mean all these things we learned with brute force, like I told you. So then I discovered if I want to have dots after those sections, section numbers, I just use package sec dots. But this line 13 I just introduced here now. If I run it, my sections have dots in front of them. For me, I think this is more beautiful. That is me. So you may not care about that. If you don't care about it, just comment out this line 13, you know, just comment out this line 13 and the dot is gone, you know, that like that. Okay, so if you don't want that, but let me want it because I like it. So of course, LaTeX is a powerful tool for typesetting mathematical content. This guide will demonstrate blah blah blah. That's why we're here. So now all I'll just do is go part by part and explain. So I won't have to type the code from the scratch. I'm going to send all this to everybody at the end of the day, so no worries. So let me take section. The next section. That's basic mathematical expressions. So I'll take it section by section like that and explain, and we'll go with that. So so now back to overleaf. So just now the thing is, any other thing you're writing should be between begin document and end document. So if you write if I put this in after the end document now, it won't be shown because it's more like it's not in the domain of definition. All of us mathematicians will understand that. So if you put this after the end document, right, it won't work, right? So imagine for basic mathematical expressions, there are two ways of expressing putting mathematical expressions. You can have inline math mode or you can have display math mode. Inline math mode is like you're talking and you just talk about mathematical expression. It's part of the story you're telling. You know, that's inline. Then display math mode is as you're talking, you want the equation to stand out. That is display. So for inline math mode, now inline math mode is used for small expressions that are part of a text. So in that case now, you use single $sign, whatever you're writing. So whenever you see dot here, it means anything you want to write should come between these two $signs. So this begin verbatim and end verbatim is just to show you how exactly it will look like. So you either use the single $sign or you use backslash brackets and close backslash open brackets and backslash close brackets. You know, for me, I've always used dollar. I mean, it was later I discovered I could also use backslash open brackets backslash close brackets, which I think is too much of stress. I did masters in optimization, so I like to go the easier way. So but while you are still looking for backslash and open bracket and close bracket, I don't type my dollar, I don't go. So easy. So you choose what works for you, right? But either of this will do the same job. So maybe you're talking about a particular thing and you want to do a mathematical expression. So to show that it's mathematical expression, just put you know, put it in $sign or put it in backslash open backslash close brackets, and then they give you the same result. That's for okay. Well, I think let me hold on with display mode so that point can sync. So now we are talking about inline math mode. Just like we said, you are telling a story and you just want to mention a mathematical expression. So all you just need to do. So everything you say inside this verbatim is not the way the thing is going to appear. So the actual work here is line 56. So this 48 to 54 are just to show you how you should write it for it to be displayed the way it is displayed in line 76. So see, so you inline math, simple dollar or this. So anything you want to write comes in between. So dollar sign, like that. For instance, I want to write the equation of a, I just want to say the quadratic equation, maybe that way. The quadratic equation is given as the quadratic equation is given as, so what we have now, so I want this to be inline. So I just put a single dollar, and that is ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, and then I do that with solution. So I just say with solution. We know the solution. The solution is okay. I'm using double dollar here. Single dollar with solution x equals. We remember what that is, right? Minus. Okay. I mean, in this case, you have to use fraction. So you can use normal frac. But I discovered dfrac from my professor later. So dfrac makes it bolder. You know, like sometimes you have some equations that are really tiny. So if you want to work with fraction, you use dfrac or frac. Frac is smaller than dfrac. That's the only difference. So that's minus b, right? The quadratic expression. So minus b plus or minus. So plus or minus is backslash pm. Now, if you are wondering how you're going to get all this, so that's why somehow you still need Text Studio to get all of these things working. So you can get all these symbols here. Let me see where are these ones now. Where? So these are the most used so far. So you have all this now. You have all the operators. You have all the see if you have all here. Okay, or you want math stuff. No, this is miscellaneous maths. Trying to say operators. Is that it? Then relations. Yeah, all these relations. Pure maths people. Those are your things. So these are arrows. So what happens is if you are using Text Studio, if you want this arrow now, you just click on it and it gives you the code NE arrow. That's what works. And of course, this is showing in that color because you need it within dollar signs or double dollar, depending on what you want. Then you have the limiters. Okay, like some arrows and all of these things. So, and their commands are there. So all you just need to do is click. So as you can start by clicking, but later you know what exactly you want. I'm still looking for is this what I'm looking for? Like if you are working with vectors and all these things, you want maybe partial something. So this is backslash partial. We may get to that. So in case I don't cover something on your mind, just let me know by the time we are done so we can talk about this. So you need to know all of these things from here now. So you can, if you're working with text too, you can have them like you want to show signs. Okay, we even have our Naira here, thank God. So we have many other things like this. What system? Maybe I think this is for chemistry people or something like that, or some special logos like that. Then yeah, you have all of this. Can we say the special thing? Okay, all these characters. I'm looking for the general ones. Okay, open and close. So mostly we always have all this kind of environment. Begin these, end that, end this. Okay, you have all the size. So there's something I'm looking for. All those general ones. Okay. Yeah, of course. Let's keep going. We'll get to find. So if there's something you'd like to know that I don't touch, we'll talk about all of that later. So these are like the operators now. Yeah, if you need integral, single integral, then for physics and geography, geologists that use all this, something around the surface, all those kind of things. You have it like you want double integral. That's Oh, so everything is just there. So in case I use things you don't understand, you can always come back here. So I mean, if you're a beginner, total beginner, you can just check them out one after the other and see how they operate. So now I'm working with frac, right? So I have minus b plus or minus square root. So for square root, I just say \sqrt. That's the code. Enter. So if you don't know this, you can go to what I just showed you now. Look for where square root is and do that. So square root of b squared. So b squared is b caret 2. That's that thing on top of 6 minus 4ac. That's a straight. Then all over 2a, right? That's the solution to that. So if you run this now, these are in text. This is like inline stuff. So now you see everything is going on in the story. So the quadratic equation is given as ax squared plus bx plus c with solution. X equals minus b plus or minus all that, like that. So that is, so if you're writing, you just want to keep writing, I can just say this solution is derived using the completing the square method, of solution. So I'm just telling the story, and all those equations are just part of the story. That's why it's called inline math mode. Okay. So what if you want display? Display is, instead of all this going together with the text you're writing, you want them to stand out. That's where the display mode comes in, and that is what I have starting from line 60 now. So subsection display math mode. So for larger expressions or equations, use display math mode with. So here now, instead of using single dollar, you can use double dollar. All right, you can use double dollar. Can I bring this down so that, yeah, so you can, it's more, I think it's better this way. So I have this or this. Did this now. Yeah. So okay, I think it's not necessary. Let's see. Yeah, this is fine. And this is fine too, like this. All right. So if you want your whatever you're typing, instead of it to be part of the story, just want it to stand out, use double dollar sign instead of single dollar, or instead of front backslash bracket and backslash close bracket. So you can use backslash square bracket backslash open square bracket backslash close square bracket. And then you have this Einstein's equation of relativity, is it? You have E equals mc squared, and you want it to be displayed. You have, so you can either do double dollar sign like this, and it comes out as you have in 78 by the time I run that. So we have this now. So so this is just the explanation, but this is what happens when you do that dollar thing. So I'm going to use that expression I just did now for the quadratic expression thing. So I just bring it. So this is what this is how it should go. This is what exactly it is. Of course, we also do punctuation in mathematics, right? So if the statement is ending, you can put a dot inside of the bracket. So inside of the double dollar sign. So now I'm pasting what I did before. So when I did this initially, it was in line, right? It was in line. Okay. Now it's on a new page. So you can see it's in line here. And if you look at this solution, it's looking like it's too bulky for that place. So if you want it to stand out in display math mode, so if I want it to stand out, so all I just need to do is double the dollar sign instead of the $1 sign. If I just say double dollar, and then I come to this other one, double dollar. So there was $1 before I add one. So by the time I run this now, you see the two of them will stand out. So that's the display. So you see, instead of it just going as part of a story, it's now like the quadratic equation is given as ax squared plus bx plus c with solution. That everything stands out. So now it's more readable. So now you can see that the decimal thing is not working now. So if you want to put, the full stop rather, you have to put the full stop inside double dollar, but full stop still works outside single dollar. But for double dollar, you can see the full stop is coming before the sentence now. So you have to put it inside. So that is how that goes. Any questions so far? Is there any question before I continue? Okay, so somebody posted some. Johnny, thank you for that. This may help you get to see a number of symbols, especially for mathematical writing. Okay. All right. So if we are fine, then we can go on. Then let's talk a bit about some advanced mathematical formatting. Say what if you have multiple equations, instead of the one equation I've just shown before? What if you have multiple equations and you want to align them? That, for me, right, like we get to deal with systems of differential equations. In that case, we always have to find ways of aligning them. So here, for advanced mathematical formatting, starting from line 82 now, so the first part, we are considering aligning equations. To align multiple equations, use the align environment from the text. So for instance, now you have begin align, end align. In fact, most times I don't even, am I going too far? Because there are other things like equation and equation arrays. Okay, let me talk about this, then I'll go to equation and equation arrays, but though they are not part of this right now. Okay, no worries. Let me leave this out for now. I'll come back to that. So I guess I want to, so we are talking about basic mathematical expressions, right? I want to create a subsection here where I talk about numbering equations. So I just say subsection, okay, and then I say numbering equations, still under this one, numbering equations. So what if you want to number your equations? So if you want to number equations, right? Okay, or I'm trying to fight myself on so many things. Okay, let me call it, let it be under advanced mathematical formatting. So I'm just going to create a subsection before what I had before. So I have subsection, and then the subsection is about numbering equations. So far we have seen we can write equation within a text. We can write equation displayed. So how do you number those equations? So there are a couple of ways to do this. You can actually, to number an equation, you just do begin equation. So of course, it's already giving you options. Do you want the number to show? If you don't want the number to show, you put a star, asterisk on top of the equation. If you want it, you just do this. So begin equation, end equation. So if you want to number an equation now, say you have which equation should I use now? So let's say, let me do dfrac now and do dx. Let me use the predator-prey system. So you have dx dt. Dx dt equals so the predator, this is the prey now. The prey is depleting, that's minus ax, I believe. Minus axy because of their interaction, plus do I still remember this? Is it axy plus b? I'm not sure now. Ax. Who remember the predator-prey equation? Okay, I guess I shouldn't hold myself back. Okay, let me quickly check Copilot for predator-prey equation. Simple equation, but I've forgotten. Predator.
I think there are 3 equations or 2.
Yeah, the basic level, there are two systems of differential equation.
One will be AX.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, let me go for that. Okay, so dx dt equals, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
AX plus BY, and the other one would be
Okay, AX plus
BY.
Okay. Yeah, so I have this. Then
no, I'm coming. I will remember now.
AX plus, I think it should be BXY. There should be an interaction term. So AX plus BXY, and you have minus, say minus CY. Yeah, it should be minus CY plus minus CY plus maybe if you want to use D, XY. There's definitely interaction. I think this is what it looks like. Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, something like this, but not exactly. I will remember.
Yeah, I mean, except that if you now want to change, if you want to change your, what is it called now? In fact, this cannot work here yet because we are working within the equation environment. So, okay, I want to leave this for later. Let me leave this for later. So for equation, right? You can number for equation, you have begin equation. So let's just have any general equation. So maybe let's just use E equals MC squared that we have already. E equals MC squared. So you want to number this. So you just run it. So you can see the equation has a number now. Okay. that's what that is about. Of course, if you want that to be suppressed, you can use begin equation with a star. So you have star on top of the equation now. So you have E equals MC squared, and that is suppressed. So you see the number, it's still so it's looking more like what we had in display mode. So if you want number, leave it. If you don't want number, put star on top of that. Then another thing is this begin equation will not work for what I was trying to do before, because I have a system of equations. So in that case, you need to use begin equation array, EQN array, right? Like this. So if you have more than one equation, this is not correct. Equation array, that is EQN. The beauty of Text Studio is that once I change the array in one in the begin part, it automatically changes this other one. So now I can put the predator equation we're trying to deal with now, because it's two equations together. So it works within begin array and end array. What is wrong here? Something is still wrong. Begin EQN array, end EQN array. Why? What's the issue here? Oh, found that end document. End document. Why? Why? Begin. Oh, let me run it first and even see what happens.
There's no backslash at the end.
Yeah, there's backslash actually. End document. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, let me just copy this. Let me copy this. So sometimes
at the end equation array.
Exactly.
So you have begin
Slash. You have using slash.
equation array. Then I just do this. Yeah, I think we're good now. So I mean, I still don't know what happened that time. So sometimes you just have to wipe things out and start again. So now
you didn't add the backslash at the end of your end equation array.
No, there's no need for backslash actually. Do you understand? There's no need for backslash. So now you see this equation is looking somewhat disorganized. Some people may not mind it this way. It may not be an issue, you know. Of course, there's also the possibility of you you may want to name this system as one equation, right? That's also one thing you may want to do. But before we are done with that, first of all, it may look like the space between them is too close, or maybe the first job is to align them. So if you want to do some kind of aligning, so you can align at different levels. So one thing you can do is you can put and in front of the equality signs. So if you want that alignment at that level, so just put ampersand. So you can see now it's looking aligned, but maybe some people may not like this kind of alignment. Probably you may want to align it from the beginning. If I put this here, I know this is going to look very scattered, but let's just try and see what happens. Okay, maybe this is a preferred way. In fact, we can even get rid of all the ampersand in between to see if this is a better one. Yeah, this looks a bit better. Okay, in fact, this should be dy now. This should be dy dt. So another thing you can do is you can actually space it out. So to space it out, you just put square bracket and say maybe you want a gap of 3 millimeter in between them. You can do that and space things out like that. Okay, so here I think it looks a bit better this way now. So you can do this. Then sometimes you may also want to name the equation as one. All right, you may want to name. In fact, apart from this, that align thing also works perfectly. In fact, most times I don't even care about begin equation or begin equation array. I just use align for everything because align works all the time for whether you're working with a single equation or with an array. So with this now, I just bring this and I just get exactly the same result for align. So I have this now, and then that just gives us exactly the same thing. Of course, you still have now. Sometimes you want to silence the equation numbers. Of course, you can still do this star thing. That's one way to go about it. You can do the star thing, or you can maybe you want to silence only one of the two. So if I bring this begin array now, and then you bring all of this down, and then I just want one of the equation numbers to show. So you can go in front of the particular equation whose number you don't want to show to just say / no number, all right? That's another way to go about it. So here now to show me the number of the first equation and not the second. So, but of course, this does not look pretty as an equation number for both. So in that case now, we can now do equation array, right? Then we'll now say, what's that thing? I'm trying to remember. There's this way to group everything together. Begin array, trying to remember now. Okay. Now, I guess I have opportunity to also explain how to use AI in the process. For instance, now, like I'm lost. I don't know what, I've forgotten how to number the both equation as one. So I just say number. Oh, okay. Number, of course, the capital letter doesn't matter, but this perfectionism sometimes. Number both equations, number the system. This is Copilot now. Number the system of equations as one. ChatGPT can do the same for you. So I just paste that thing in front of this. So it rewrites the code for me. So it has done something. I wonder what it is until I put it there and see. So I just put it here because I want the both equations to be numbered as one. This is not looking tidy, but looks like it has done something. Let's see. Okay, so this goes down and this also goes down. That's why I prefer ChatGPT. ChatGPT would have done something neater than this. In fact, this hasn't helped my ministry. Let me just, where is it now? Okay, I think we're fine up to line 113. Yeah, we're fine up to this point. Okay, so yeah, let me go to ChatGPT. Big, strong, reliable. So I'll just copy that same thing. Now, Copilot is particularly good. If you know, sometimes people complain about ChatGPT that it doesn't have references. ChatGPT won't give you references, but Copilot will give you references if you want references. So here, and I just have this. Okay. Here now. In fact, it's not writing it as LaTeX. So I'll just say write in pastable LaTeX, something I can copy and paste, you know. Yeah, so and of course, it is whatever you give it to spew out for you. So if you give it something that will make it confused, it will complicate the matter. So what's exactly happening here? Let me see. No. Okay. There's a keyword I'm trying to remember. This is not okay, or is it that okay, I think it's still my fault. I didn't copy. This is what I should copy. Yes. So I bring it back here to overleaf. Yeah. Sadly disappoints. Yeah, I think it has done it well. Okay, no. Because I've put no number here before, I think it's having some issue with that. Okay, this is still showing all that. Okay, sorry, I want to do this again. All right, we have this. Is this quad even necessary? Okay. Yeah, so back again. Okay. Number the system as one equation, Okay. Now, no, this is not what I'm saying. You see this guy? No.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's an AMS package
Okay.
that does it very well.
Okay, which one? You see what I'm saying? Is that? Split.
No, don't worry. You don't need to. It's already in AMS Math already.
Oh, okay.
So check your chat.
Chart. Okay, nice. Oh, begin split, end split. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So we have begin split. Now I see why you need to be here. Thank you, sir. So begin split, end split. Yeah, okay. Then it just puts everything together. Then this also works if you have very lengthy equation and sometimes some equations are really long that you don't want to break them down. So this works perfectly. You can see, so it's named it as one equation 6. So both equation is now 1. So here we did, it's like Ojoro when we just said second line should be no number, but split does a perfect job of naming both equations as 1. Then so if you have very lengthy equations and you want to, maybe the equation is too long for a particular line, so you just keep breaking things down like that. Okay, so this is if you want equation numbers and all that. Thank you so much for that, sir. So let me go to the next part, which is aligning equations. Okay, well, I think that is already implied in what I did already, but let me just put it there still. So to align equations, so to align multiple equations, use the align environment, which we have done already. So I think what I did before now has already taken care of this. So I don't have to waste time with this. So in fact, here itself, the alignment is not really aligning per se. So I've told you the so the alignment is fine at the level of the equality. So it's like we're aligning the equality here, which is one way by which you can align. You can also align at the beginning. So I think I don't want to take more time on that. So let's go to
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Please, if you want to use brace brackets to capture the two equations, you want to write maybe x equals, then you open a brace bracket to list a particular set of conditions.
Okay, like
so that you can have
So if you
like one, all of them will be one.
Like step function
like,
or something.
Yeah, like step function, exactly.
Step function. Okay, so in that case, I think in that case you use case. I'll do that in a minute.
Okay, because I know sometimes it's needed when you write equations as one.
Yes. So I'll do that very soon. After this, have I done this align thing already? I thought I copied something. Okay, yes. So this is about, I think I've copied the same thing. Okay, good. So let me go back to that. I was going to copy matrices. Matrices and determinants. So there are all kinds of matrices actually. So let's see how much of this we can explore. So number one, okay, talking about matrices now. So to create matrices, you can use, there's B matrix, there's P matrix, there's V matrix, there are all kinds of matrices. So we're going to look at each of them. So normally,
hello,
matrices.
Doc.
Hello.
Sorry, please. I don't know. It seems some persons are still on the waiting list.
Oh, okay. I've not seen. Normally, it should pop up. Okay. Normally, it comes on my screen and then I accept them. So I've admitted these people there now. Thank you. So to create matrices, normally you should know that matrices are just like equations too. So without the, if you should either put them in single dollar if they are in text, although you know matrices will not be pretty if they are in text. So it's better you put them as in display mode, which that is using double dollar or that backslash, something I told you about. But I think I'm more comfortable with the dollar things. So here now, so I think probably it's better to actually do this from the scratch, right? So you want to display matrix this way. And of course, just like that, you have the double dollar thing. Okay, this is too much. Double dollar like this. And then you have, say the matrix is matrix A equals, so let me even do it this way, equals, then you have to begin. Back then when I started out, there was a very funny way we used to write matrices before I discovered all this P matrix and all that. So begin P matrix, end P matrix, just press enter. So if you want to do a 2 by 2 matrix, you can just say 1 and 2 double backslash to end that line, go to 3 and 4, something like this. And that's how you get that matrix. So that is P matrix, right? That is P matrix. So what if you want a 3 by 3 matrix that is not P matrix? So the OP thing is just about how, what did I do here now? What did I do here? Okay, yeah. So if you want to do something that is not P matrix, just change. So here now, for P matrix, we've seen that's normal. It looks like normal brackets. So B matrix is actually like when you have this, when you have a square bracket for the matrices. I think it's rendered already. Was it B matrix we did at first? Let me see. That 2 by 2 I did. It's P matrix. Then wait, that 2 by 2. How did it show? Let me see. PP, right? Then okay, let's do B now. Let's do B first. B matrix. Okay, yeah, B matrix is the square bracket. P matrix is this other one. Okay, I've even changed that one too. So that's B there, that is P here. We have this. So it's all about the delimiters. You also may want to check other ones. I know there's also V matrix. So V matrix will give you, I think that's the one that will give you the determinant looking kind of thing. This now. Yeah, so if you are looking for determinant, that's V matrix. I think there are other ones like maybe even capital V, I believe. I think there's something like capital V that looks like a norm or something like that. I'm not sure. Let's check. Where you have double determinant sign. That should be capital V, hopefully. I believe it should be. Yes, that. So that's that thing that looks like norm. So you have all kinds of matrices like that that you can try out. Yes. Okay, well, I think this will still be under advanced mathematical expressions, right? So before I go to theorems now, somebody talked about when you want to do step functions, where you use you do begin cases and end cases. Let me give it a name. Okay, this is matrices and determinants. Let me talk about step functions now. Step functions. V. Oh, okay. Well, subsection in short, subsection. And then we're talking about declaring step functions, or let me just say step functions. Step functions. So for step functions, right? Like I said, you have to do begin begin cases, and then you start the first expression. Let's say, I think this is common for maybe something like probability sometimes. So you can say, of course, before you even do this, let's say, of course, it has to be like an equation. So let's say begin align, end align. Then begin cases will now come between this, begin cases. So, and the idea is that within begin cases, begin align, you have f of x, your equation, now f of x, which is a step function. So you now come to begin cases. You can say that, you can say, I'll just make something up. Let's say x squared plus 4x. Then quad will give it some space. So maybe we can put a comma here. Quad when 0. Okay, this is an opportunity to even talk about these things. Less than or equal to, that's backslash LE. So when x is less than or equal to 0 is less than or equal to x, then less than or equal to, say, 2. So this is the first expression in that begin case. So it's still looking like a normal thing, right? And then we have, so you use double backslash here and go down and say maybe here now, the same expression, you can say it is now, say, maybe it is anything. Maybe it is 5 minus x, okay? And then quad gives it some space. If you want more space, you can do another quad, like double quad. And then now you say 2 is, okay, 2 is already captured there. So maybe 2 is now normal less than, 2 is less than x, is now less than or equal to 4. Of course, greater than or equal to is GE, just like less than or equal to is LE. So if you do this now, you have this. So you can keep going like that. So let me say, let me do that otherwise thing. So let's now say it is 0 quad. Now otherwise is like is a text, right? So you can say, you can put that within, so that it won't look like equation that we have. So you just say, you write that within a text environment, and then you have otherwise, and that gives you, so now this is a step function like that. Okay, I forgot to put equality here. So this is how to declare step functions. Okay, and of course, step functions can have as many parts as possible. A step function is simply a function that has different expressions within different intervals, basically. So that goes. Okay, so let's go to mathematical theorems and expressions. So I'll just put everything together because I've explained to you initially before we even started begin documents how to. So if you want this to work, then you should have defined all of those things ahead of time, how they will appear and things like that. So all of that has been done in the beginning. Okay. So if you want to now use a theorem and all that within your work, then all you just need to do is create the environment for it, which you had formatted ahead. So okay, where this starts is here. So mathematical theorems and propositions. So subsection, if you want to do a theorem, for instance, you just say begin theorem. Then if you have the theorem name, like Pythagorean theorem, then you now state the theorem. In a right angle triangle, the square of the length of the blah, 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 which we all know, you can state it right there. Then if you have proof, even if you have a proof for it, all you just need to do is begin proof, and, oh, okay, this is proposition. No. Begin proof, end proof. Yeah. So you now say using a right angle triangle, and then of course there are many ways to prove this. You can use the Pythagorean triple in trigonometry to prove this. So using the Pythagorean triple, Pythagorean triple, and then you continue all the stories until you're done. So all of that comes between begin proof and end proof. And then once you run that, the proof would usually end with something like a box, as you can see. Where is that now? So, I mean, once you're done with the proof, you see this kind of box, and this tells you the end of a proof like this. Okay. So, of course, if you want a lemma, just say begin lemma, end lemma, and say what the lemma is. Lemma 4.2, it will number it for you even. If A and B are positive real numbers, then A plus B over 2 is greater than or equal. So all those ones, or you want to give it example. So I mean, this is particularly useful if you are writing probably a math book and there are specific things you want to show in your book. So, but all of these are possible just because it won't automatically happen, right? All of that thing we have now, they are possible because of what you already have in lines 25 to 31. So if you don't have this defined already here, you won't be able to do all of these things here. So, and that's why we have lemma, proposition, corollary, definition, example, and remark. So, and of course, you can actually set different formatting for them depending on your level of advancement. So for those who will pick it up, you know, it depends on the time you commit to it and everything. That will determine how far you go. So just a begin, example, and example, because you have preset it and you do all of these things. So I won't stay for too long on that. Okay, so sometimes you can also define special situations you want. For instance, maybe you want your R to come out in a particular, you know, for R for real numbers now. So let's talk about custom commands and macros. Custom commands and macros. So here now, you can define your own commands for frequently used expressions to simplify your document. For example, you can write a new command to say any R you have should come out in mathbbr. Mathbbr is actually the real number symbol kind of R. And then if you want for derivatives now, there's a particular way you want your derivatives to come. So you have diffrac. Okay, I think this, so if you want to use this command now, so you can just say, okay, everything is here. So you have now use this command. So you have X in R. So this R now is automatically going to appear like this one here. And then if you now have deriv, you know, so it will appear like what you have set here. So if you run this, let's see what we get. So you can actually preset exactly how you want some commands to look like. So you want your dy dx to also always appear in this way. So you set it up there. So this real number now is appearing like this, though it is only \r. So it tells the program that in what you have done in lines 291 and line 292 is to say whenever you see \r, just render it as real number r. So I don't have to keep using mathbb all the time. So if you're a pure mathematician, for instance, this can be very useful for you. So instead of having to type mathbbr all the time, so you already write a command one. So just like once you have \r, it already automatically knows that's what you want. Then if you say deriv yx, instead of all those ones that I'll be writing diffrac dy dx. So once I just say deriv yx, it automatically just knows that it should write dy dx. So I don't have to write dy dx all the time, talking diffrac and all that and all that. So that is, so you can actually customize things the way you want them. That's what this is simply telling you. Okay, so let's go to what's next. How do you put tables in your work? Of course, all tables have so sometimes you have to display some information in a table. Okay, I guess I want to do this from the scratch. Let me do this from the scratch. So let me just start from this. So you want to talk about tables. So here's an example of a more, okay, this is actually, okay, I think I edited this document later. So I have a simple table. Okay, let me just say, here are examples. Here are examples. Okay, I think I shouldn't worry about this even. Let me edit an overleaf because we have more things in overleaf now. So I have to copy them back here to have a more comprehensive note. So let's do this. So here are examples. Here are examples of tables. Including simple and tables, including single tables and tables with multi-row and multi-column cells, as well as alternating row colors for improved readability. So the first one is the simple table. So to do a table, right? Number one, if you want the table to be numbered, you need a begin table environment. So you have begin. Interestingly, I mean, what all these kind of things do for you is, oh, okay, can you imagine? So it has given me the framework. So once I say begin table, end table, it knows the kind of things I would need. And then you can just edit and put all the information. So life is easy. You don't have to start typing everything. I wasn't even expecting this. So I mean, I could as well just go and copy my thing. So just say begin table, end table, and just press enter. It gives you so you can see all the background has been given. Then you just need to fill up all those things. So let me just copy what I have here and try to explain line by line to our understanding. And of course, you're going to get this whole thing later. So it works. So here now, of course, so when I teach coding, I try to any crazy idea that comes to your head. You may be wondering, why do we have centering here? Okay, let me even run this first and see what happens. So we run this now, and then you have the table here. Now see what is happening. Okay, well, this H may not be necessary here, because here you can have small h to say here, but it won't always obey that. Or if you want it to be at the top, you have that. If you want it to be at the bottom, so these are possible things. But if the whole thing if you have plenty of things, by the time we build this whole document, you are going to see probably the need for you to adjust some things. So, but for now, we don't have a problem. So I used that H before to fix it where it is by force. But here, you can just say H for now, and that works, So what is the job of this centering? If you want to know the effect of this centering, you can comment it out and see what happens. So the table looks like it is in the center now. If I remove the centering, yeah, so the centering is what keeps it in the center. So that way I know that you won't forget. So if you're wondering what centering is about, it keeps the table in the center. Then, of course, those headings you have, first of all, the number of columns you're going to have will be defined in front of this. Okay, of course, this caption is a simple table example, right? And then that's the caption at the top now. And then begin tabular. So here you have to decide how many columns do you want to have. So these 3 C's mean that, in fact, let me work with all these things. So if I just have 3 C's, it means I'm going to have 3 columns. So those lines are not there now. So you can see all the vertical lines are gone. So if you don't want the vertical lines, you can take them off. But if you want them, you can just put, so I want a line in the beginning. If that's only where I want a line, I just have only that one line before the C. Then if I just want a line at the end, at the beginning and the end, I just put another one in the end like this, and we have something like this. Okay. If I want lines in between the columns, I just put these vertical lines. That's the duty of all the lines. And you define that in front of begin tabular. Now it is begin table. Now, why do we need begin table and begin tabular? I think that's another thing you may want to wonder about. Okay. So to know that, just comment out begin and end table and see the difference, so you can know the job it's doing right there. So begin table is what gives it that name. So you can see with this one now, you just have the table. It's not as structured as what it should be. And then caption won't work with it any longer and all that. So begin table gives it proper structure. So it is the tabular that does the table, while begin table gives it the structure. It gets the caption, the table number, and all that. That's what begin table does. So that's why we need to use both begin table, end table, and begin tabular, end tabular. And of course, now, how do we get the vertical lines? You already know the horizontal lines. I mean, the vertical lines I got from the by all these lines we have before and in between columns. So, but the horizontal lines, it is all these H lines that are giving you the horizontal lines. So if I comment out that H line now, so if you don't have H line, you can see the top has no line anymore. So if I remove this one now, I mean, just put percent, the next horizontal line is gone also. Then the last one can also go, right? And then so you have all that gone. Then you can also have even the last one can go, right? Just comment that. So the H line is doing all that for you. So if I want them back, I just do Z, and I have them back. Then of course, what else? So of course, each line has to be. Then of course, text BF is what is making this category value and comments. Text BF is what is making them bold. then the double backslash. If I remove double backslash, it's going to disorganize. It may even give me error altogether. So yeah, you can see the table is somehow distorted now. So the double backslash is what is making it what it is. Yeah, so you have it very compact this way. So that's a simple table. We can have the table a bit more complicated. Like maybe you want more, you have subcategories, you want to merge cells. Here it can become a bit challenging if you have some very tricky tables, but by sitting down with it. So now you can see the table is a bit more complicated. So of course you still have the normal columns and the lines in between them. Then you still have so now instead of 4 columns, 3 columns like we had before, we have 4 now, because now we have a subcategory compartment. So it means that for every category you have subs. So, and this is where you are going to have multi-rows. So you have for the first line now, so you have multi-row 2. So it means you are going to have 2 rows. So you have category 1. So under category 1, you have subcat 1.1, which is 12 normal. Then double backslash, and you have. So the next one now, I mean, it's looking like something really, really complicated, right? Okay, maybe from what we have already, right? We can now look at the two together. So if you look at category 1, so because the category 1 has 2 rows under it, and that's why the multi-row comes on. So you have multi-row. How many multi-rows? 2. So if you want more than 2 multi-rows, then you can. Okay, for instance, now let me take a risk and say I want 3 multi-rows, right? And then in that case now, I have subcat 1.1, and that is 12, and that is normal. And then this client, what is this 2.4 doing here, Seth? So 2 to 4. Okay, let me do something. It can throw up errors, but we will learn. So let me just do. So maybe it's about the spacing. I don't know. So here now, I hardly work with this kind of complicated tables, but let's see. So you know what I've just done? I've just copied this client and the subcat. Now I want it to be subcat 3, and then I want this to be say 21, and then the text color. Okay, well, let's say this is still high, right? And if I run this now, so you can have more. Okay, good. That works perfectly. That works perfectly. So I have 3 subcategories under that. So if you want to have to, so basically, so because I have, so the number of rows you want for each category, you can specify using this multi-row. But this client 2 to 4, I still don't get it. Let me change it to 2 to 5 and see what happens. Okay, I think I have an idea now. Okay, so we have another line under that. So what if I change this one to 2 to 5 too? Okay, so you have another line, but then it's throwing up some errors. So 2 to 4, 1, 2. I don't get what that line is. Yeah. So I mean, we can always find out what that means. So if you need to work, so most of these things, it is the challenges you face that really make you strong in working with some of these things. So those challenges can be really helpful. So sometimes you're in trouble. I mean, how I discovered float was, somebody was working on a journal, like a senior back in Footer then. He was working, LaTeX, I've seen people who could not publish papers because they had issues trying to format using LaTeX. Like I know somebody practically who, I mean, his paper was waiting for like 1 or 2 years because he had to submit the journal in LaTeX, but then he had some errors. And this thing can get very tricky if you don't understand the fine details. So it was when I came into the picture, then so all those works they had abandoned, he brought them out, then I was able to work on the LaTeX, resolve the issues and everything. So these things can be really confusing sometimes. So, I mean, if you want to do complicated tables, you can study this more. If you want it more complicated than this, with what you already have as a structure, you can work on that further. All right. So, yeah, what graphics is another thing. So, if you want to insert graphics, you have a very simple way to go about it. But of course, things can be more complicated than this actually. you know, but I mean, this is the basic and you can always build on it. So if you want to insert figures here, so you have, of course, you can always use the example image. So including graphics, I think there's someone who is, somebody should be muted there. Let's see. Who could that be? Okay. Nice. All right. So include graphics, images or graphics to complement your mathematical content. So of course, if you're writing a paper or something, you need to plot graphs to show what you are doing and things like that. So of course, okay, this is just a demonstration, but the actual implementation is from 348 to 352. So here you have begin figure, end figure as usual. And just like table 2, you may have to force it to stay where you want it to stay if it's not like that. But for most papers, right, it doesn't have to, things don't, like your table doesn't have to follow the statement you have written, depending on other components of the document, right? So, but generally you have begin figure, of course, centering, again, you already know what centering does, you know, and then the main thing is whatever you want to work on should be saved in the same folder as your tech file. I guess I'm going to talk about that. Okay, now that I've remember that, let me quickly go there. So it's always important that your tech document. Let's see, where do I have this now? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I'm trying to remember now. Did I bring it to this desktop? Did I bring it to this? Yeah. No, not yet. I saw maths. Thought I created a folder for it here. If you see something like mathematical typesetting, please let me know. I know I guess I created a document for it on the desktop.
Yeah, there's a PDF document at the top.
Oh, okay, just the PDF. Oh, okay. Okay, let me go here. I think I can trace it. Desktop, attention. Oh yes, new LaTeX jobs, math typesetting. Yeah, I've seen it now. It's actually here. I have a folder called attention. Where is it now? Yeah, it's actually inside this place called attention, and then I have new LaTeX jobs. Yeah, so you can see, okay, I have some physiologic stuff. So everything should be in the same folder. So before you start working on your, in fact, before you start, when you install your LaTeX, right? So when you come here, you can always come here first, right? So once you come here, like this untitled document now. So if I want to save, the first thing you want to do is you want to save it, probably save it. You should already have created a folder on the desktop or somewhere. So go to that desktop. Probably if you have created a folder for it, say the folder is called Math Mentoring, okay? This is a folder. Of course, I have something inside here already. So if I call it Math Mentoring or something, so I just click on this folder and then save this one as whatever I want it to be. So I just say maths typeset, you know, let me just call it that, maths typeset. Then I save it here. So that LaTeX, that tech ending, which is the most important part of the document, because you can, with that, you can only generate a PDF. Now, I mean, I think I should quickly refer to that here now. If you want to lose something, as far as you're working with LaTeX, lose everything, but don't lose your .tech documents, because if you lose PDF, no problem, you can always generate it back. I think I saved that in Math Mentoring here now. Okay, so, and this is it here. So any picture, any figure you want to use must be in this same folder. If not, it won't work. For instance, okay, somebody's coming in. Okay, now okay, in case I want to use my picture, I have a picture on the screen here, which is called EJD. Do I have any other thing I can use as a picture? Okay, what is this LIJ? Okay, I mean, some comments we got about a paper. Okay. Yeah, let me say I want to use EJD and LIJ in this document now. So for Text Studio, you make sure it's in the same folder with what you have. But for Overleaf, you have to upload it here. So let me assume that I want to put that EJD and LIJ later. Okay, let me even run what we have here first. So here, all I have is an example, right? So this you can always use this as an example image, and that is example dash image. So that will always answer for you anytime, any day. So, and this is what is bringing that up now. So now if you can stack your images, of course, this is very simple. You can actually do other ones, like when you use sub-figure, sub-caption. I'm not talking about that right now. So, but here I'm just talking about the possibility. Okay, before I even do this, so if you want to upload something into over for Text Studio, put the images in the same folder as your tech file. That is the way it can recognize it. But for Overleaf, you have to upload the images here. So let me see, in case you didn't see how I got here. So I go to this upload. You can see this upload here. So I click this upload, and then I have this select files. So when you come to select files, then I come to the desktop where I have those files. Then so I want to use EJD and this something that somebody said on LinkedIn as an advice. So they come like that. When they finish loading, then so they automatically are there, but you need to know their names. So here they are EJD and LIJ. Now sometimes you need to create another folder to put all your figures, so you can now reference the figures from there. But here I'm just dumping them directly. So instead of this example image, now I'll put the name of the file I uploaded, which is EJD. So exactly the way it is spelled. If you spell it another way, it won't work, because it is specific to what you are using. What's happening here? What is happening? Should I put the ending dot? Is it important to put dot JPEG? EJD dot JPEG. Is that what is needed? Why? Oh, okay. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's the verbatim thing. So it should just appear just the way it is. So I should be doing that here. Yes. Even the ending is not necessary. Yeah. So it just brings up, okay, because the picture is too big or something, it has taken it down. So you now have it coming here. So what if I want to use this and the other one? Like I want two pictures together. Of course, this is still the simple type. So if you want to work in a proper area, so you need to know about sub-fig and sub-caption, either of the two. So all I'm just going to do now is, I already have this picture and I want to stack another one with it. So I just copy and paste. And then the other one is LIJ. Okay, LIJ. So I just run that. So the two will be laid on themselves like this. So I'm sure it is on the next page already like that. Yeah, so this is it. So if you want a space in between the two, you need double backslash. Then you can talk about the space, that square bracket, and say maybe 2 millimeters or something. So you can have a bit of space. Then, of course, one thing about LaTeX is you can have control. You can have control over the figures. You can specify the width and height. But most times, it's better you control one, because everything control is in order proportionately. For instance, if I just say my width should be, I think I'm used to using millimeters or something. So if I say my width should be 12 cm for both, each one 12 cm, automatically the height will be adjusted. So once you see what it looks like and you don't like it, you can adjust. Okay, it looks like so the widths look good the way they are, but if you don't want that, if you want to even specify that the height should be 12 cm, so you can do that. So you have to just type height is equal to 12 cm too. Okay, height is 12 cm. Width. So here, so you can have control over anything you want to have control over, as far as it works for you. But does it even look like anything is happening here? For God's sake, let me see. Let me go high and see if something is really changing. Oh, okay. It's not this one. So can you imagine? What I'm working on is down. Sorry. I was wondering why nothing was changing. That's one thing I don't like about Overleaf. You have to really go there. In Text Studio, if you run something, it takes you to where that action is happening. But Overleaf, you have to scroll down there. So maybe there's a magic around that, which I don't know yet. But that's one tiny problem with Overleaf. So if you want it to be square, of course, the way the picture is may not render well as a square, you know. You can, so what I'm saying is that you have absolute control to a very large extent. You have control to a very large extent rather on how your LaTeX things work, like that. So you can control as much as you want the figures. Okay. So what else do we have now? If you want to do that for in Text Studio, right? So I've told you that the figures, those two figures I used now, you have to make sure they are in the same folder. So I'm going to copy EJD and LIJ. I'll just copy and take them into I think attention, right? Attention, and then new LaTeX jobs. Then this folder now where this math typesetting with LaTeX is, just like I said, this is everything that has been generated about your tech now. So if you need to send anything to anybody, you need to send this tech file. Even the PDF, you may not worry yourself, because once you have this tech file, you can only generate it. If you are going to lose anything, please don't lose this tech file. Lose everything else, but not the tech file. Of course, if you have figures and all that, yeah. So the tech file and your figures, extremely important, and they have to be in the same folder. You know, they have to definitely be in the same folder. So now that I have put the EJD and LIJ in the same folder with that, I can come back here and do the same thing that I did before. Please don't confuse that with this one I just used as an example. So I just use this to demonstrate how you can start a new document and save it somewhere. So this now that I have all those images there, I can now say, okay, the first one I want it to be EJD, you know, and then, okay, let me run that first. So if I run this now, so the beautiful thing about Text Studio is that it will take you to what you are running, not like Overleaf that you have to scroll down there. So these two images are still empty. So I now want them to be both EJD and LIJ, right? So I have okay, so I have, so this is where you change the name of the document, EJD, and then this is LIJ. LIJ. I wonder why I call that LIJ too. So if you run it, so already make sure the images are in the same folder as this, and then you have control over what happens. So that's something really important. Okay, so that takes us to citation. I think I have to do citation and bibliography. I have to do the two together. Very important, because without bibliography, citation won't work. So sometimes one of the first things to do is to already have your bibliography together. So let me take this to Overleaf now. So for you to be able to cite a paper, right? In Microsoft Word, you can cite a paper without already having your bibliography or your references. But in tech, you're going to get errors, except if you do it like if you just copy and paste from Microsoft Word. So here now, if you want to cite the proper way, if the paper is not already there, it won't answer you. For instance, look at this now. Okay, before I even talk about, so references and citation, manage references using BibTeX or the bibliography environment. So what I have here is the bibliography environment. So, but BibTeX is really sweet because Overleaf automatically comes with BibTeX. Anything that ends with BIB, that's your BibTeX. Do I have that here? Let me see. It should be definitely. Maybe it's one of these other ones. How can I see the ending of this now? Anything that ends with BIB is your BibTeX. So there you can actually, there's a format called BibTeX that you can get from Google Scholar. What's this now? Okay, I'm not seeing BibTeX here. Or should I just open it by faith? Okay, no, this is the diagram. Okay. Somehow BibTeX is not here. Interesting. Normally, you should always have BibTeX coming together with everything. Okay, so we can talk about that. I mean, you can do that. Check about BibTeX, how that works. So, but it's super efficient. So once you have BibTeX, I guess there should be another document where I can find that. Let me go back to something I'm comfortable sharing. Let me see. Okay, I mean, this brain drain model is already published, so nice. Yeah, so this is what I mean by BibTeX. Anything that ends with BIB is your BibTeX for document. Yeah, this reference bib, this is it. So you can see, so if you have a particular reference, say like, okay, this paper now that is published. So if you want to get the BibTeX of any document, just go to Google Scholar, and then you want to reference the JAPA model. Okay, you want to reference that, you just say, I mean, JAPA model is a very uncommon thing. So I'm sure with that alone, I can find it. So I just click on JAPA model. So it brings, oh, interest. Yeah, here it is. So I just click on this now. So once I click on it, oh, okay, this is not, okay. I wanted to show it to me in that. Okay, let me just click on site. So when it brings this site thing now, so this is, you have all the APA, MLA, but you see BibTeX right here. So you need to now copy this BibTeX just the way it is. So you just copy this, copy it, then take it to that bib document. So these are all the papers we had cited before. So you can go to the end of this and paste it here. So once you paste it, then take note of this Adeniji 2024 JAPA, very important. So this is what you are going to cite in the document. So, this is this now. So you now go into the main document. The main document here would be, what's the main document? I mean, the main document is usually titled main unless you rename it. So maybe I now want to cite that paper somewhere. Say I want to cite it, let me find a comfortable place to cite it. Okay, all of these are like references. Okay. So the way to cite is, there are many ways of citing. You can do cite, normal cite, or cite, you want to cite in whatever format. Okay, here now, I just come and cite, then I open bracket, then that, because I already know that I didn't, I just click on this, and then it will cite like that. So if you compile it now, it automatically, so the trouble with this guy now is that I have to go and be looking for it. We'll even cite in app. Okay, this is before appendix, right? Okay, let me see where appendix started. Appendix. So I think all of this will be appendix. This is the trouble with this guy, with overleaf. So text today will take you to where the action is happening at the moment. Appendix. Okay, yeah, now this is the document. Now you see that. So because I've cited it here, and it's document 44. Okay, so if I click on it, you can see it automatically just put it up right there. Automatically put it up there. So you see Adiniji and Co. So you see this. Then of course I think there are other kind of citing. So right now it's just showing numbers. It's showing numbers. Okay, I think I should be able to click it and go there straight too. I think that used to happen. No. Appendix. Okay, yeah, this one. So I want to try other types of citing, depending on what the environment where you're working. So site T, I think site T works here. Site T will probably bring out the name of the authors or something like that. Oh, it's not working here. Why? So I think most of the times the environment actually determine what works and what doesn't. Okay, site T is not working. So you can see it's coming out in a very funny way. Maybe site P does work. Site P, hopefully. Not working too. Okay. So, but I mean, that's how to cite. But you can check out, depending
You have to import the not bib, sir.
not bib.
Before
Okay.
site C and site P.
At the top. Okay.
Before
Okay.
site P, yeah.
So let's go and implement that in the main document you're working with. So let's go back to where we're coming from. Yeah. So this is math typesetting with LaTeX. Okay. So see what the site we have done here. The beautiful typesetting LaTeX was introduced by sites. So I mean Lamport and co. Lamport brought LaTeX, not brought tech. So maybe the beautiful LaTeX typesetting was introduced by Lamport 94 based on tech. Can tech have a special way too? I don't know. I'm just trying that. Based on tech so the other person is, so you now try to cite, so you have sites, notes. So notes, right? So I mean, I'm citing this person now, the person that started the whole thing. So that's notes. Okay, now the trouble again with this one is that it's like Text Studio. Normally, Text Studio should bring this for me. So this is what you're citing. So notes 84. So now I think it's bringing out numbering. But if I import NatBib, like I've been told now, I can do all those other sites. So you can see these pictures ahead. This is where the trouble I was telling you. So you can see these pictures are coming in between all this wahala now. So this is where it may be necessary to force them to stay in one place, right? So you can see this, if you don't want this picture to come into the references and everything, that is where it might be good probably to reduce the picture size, or go to where the picture itself is here. And that is why, because I've imported a float, this float now, I can now, so you can click on the picture and it takes you to where the code is. So if I put H now, if I use H, then I can force it to come before references. So you can see, once I do that now, so you can see it has come before references. But we still have the other pairs, like this one, coming before references, and I don't want it like that. So I just change this one to H. Of course, in paper publications, that is not necessary, because you are supposed to allow the paper go where it wants to go. I mean, you are supposed to allow the images go where they find convenient. So, but for here, because I don't want the pictures coming in between references, so I use that capital H based on the float I had imported to force them to be where I want them to be. So now you can see all the pictures are coming before references and citation. So that thing I just cited now, these are the things I cited. The beautiful typesetting LaTeX was introduced by 1, based on tech by 2. Okay, let me click on this to go to exactly where that is. Okay, so site based on tech by why is this one joining together? Is it because of all this I don't know, tech by 2? Okay, but if we import natbib, interestingly, you don't have to use all these packages. You can put all of them together as far as they don't have any special you don't have any special information behind them. So I can just as well put natbib here instead of putting it separately. So if I put natbib here now, natbib, so I can now go and do all those things I was trying to do that wasn't working before. Now I see why I need to have my guy by my side in this room. Thank you so much, sir. So let's see. Okay. So if I copy this now and I'll do that that site T thing I was doing, let's do site T first and see what it gives. Site T. What does site T give us? Like I think it should be giving us. It's not working here. Why? Okay, it's supposed to give author and something. Okay, let me try site P then. Let me try site P. So I know these things give some different kinds of format. Nothing special. Why? I don't know again. So, but I know there's site B, there's site T, and it works in different environments. So just take note of that. So if I let me put everything, so in case you're working with it, you may get it to work in your own environment. Maybe there's something else I need to do. Okay, I remember for NatBib, right? It looks like we have to put author here. Let me try that. So in that case, I have to separate it. So I just copy this, and then NatBib will go out of this place. And I have only NatBib here. So probably like we have to do author here, I think. So in this place, I just say, is it author? How does that work? Author. Is it author here together also? I'm not sure. I'm not sure again. Let me see. Author, is it author here like this? Still not working. Or is it author, comma here? Sir, Dr. Gunja?
It's combined. It's combined.
Okay. But my faith
Author
is
here.
my faith is failing because it's not working here. Or should that be in braille?
So the style file, the reference style should also support author here. I don't know
Okay.
which the style you are using here, bibliography style.
Okay. I mean, I didn't NatBib.
You know, the bibliography style at the bottom, where your reference
Okay.
is, you know.
Let me say
You have
end.
the bibliography, you have the bibliography style. That should also matter too.
Okay. So here I have the bibliography. So should I just say bibliography alone?
Nah, kind of try to avoid. No, not this one, not this one. Try to
Okay.
avoid NatBib with this kind of formatting. So just use .bib.
Okay.
That's easier, much easier. This is complicated.
All right. So like this now, I just want to try my crazy idea. Okay. Worst case. So yeah, so now we see that it's more super efficient to use Dr. Gunja told me about this NatBib thing, but I mean sometimes I can be a slow learner. So I still like my old way sometimes, but from all indications, I mean, I use Bib a lot, especially when we are working on when we are collaborating with people, right? But somehow I still got to generate it. So yeah, but I think it's even possible to create a .bib thing that normally. So I can just say new file. I just say what should I call this now? Let me just call it references.bib, like we saw before, references.bib. So that will be my .bib here since we don't have it. Oh, is it there already before? So I create that. Okay, so now I have my .bib file, right? Now where is it now? Why did thing they hide? I don't understand. Like, now I've created it. Now, where is it? Is there something else I should do? New folder? No. Cancel. Should it be new file? It should be new file now. Where did the references hide now? Where? Oh, okay. I'll try again. It should be file now, not folder, Abi?
Yeah, it's a file.
The file. So references. Why is it giving me this thing like it's already there before? Oh yeah, gently. A file folder with name. So where is it now? I don't understand. Something is happening that I can't explain. So normally it should be okay. Wait though. Is it that okay, let me see.
It's there.
Yeah, it's
Look
there.
at it, it's there.
Okay. Yeah. So what we are going to do, thank you so much, sir. So what we're going to do is we are going to get the for each of these guys now. I'll just get Leslie Lamport, I'll just copy this information. Then I'll go to Google Scholar. I'll go to Google Scholar and search for all that information. So, the book does not even exist in the first place. I think it does exist. Okay, let me just do Leslie Lamport directly. LaTeX. Yes, it's right there. Or is it like a book? Ah, long thing. Okay, I should go to sites, Jerry. Sites, deep tech. Okay, and then I have this. I'll just do it for Leslie and Notes, the guys that brought us here. Now, how did I see that plenty in that time? Now, I'm not saying it again. Is it like this? Okay, yes. So that beep tech, I just paste it here. Take note of Lampo 1985 1I. Then I go to Donald Notes tech book again. Donald Notes. Donald. KNUTH. Like this again. Is it this? Okay, he has a, yeah. This guy was a computer person who wanted a very fine way of preparing documents. 1984 for that. So he has some papers on computer science too. I guess it should be this on the tech book. Yeah, so we'll just go to site again and go to Beep Tech and then just copy, paste in reference.beep here. So I give it some space. Then we can now go to our main document. Then we can recompile now. So we've cited already. I think we should also work on this part, right? So with this now, I don't think we need all these plenty things. So I think here we just say reference.beep or something like that. Let me see how that should be done again. We'll come to references, the end. Yeah, something like this. Bibliography reference.beep. Yeah, that is something. That's what we do. So instead of listing all these references out, so I just come and say bibliography. My reference is capital R this time. So it's references, actually, references. So if I run this now, then it affects. Now what's happening? References.beep, right? Why? I have to go back. Maybe that thing on top actually counts for something. So this bibliography style, UNSRT, there are other options, I think, of that. This now. So you have options, you can list the references like that, but .beep is always better. Okay, I guess it should work now. Wow, still not. Okay. Chai. In the process of doing all that wahala, I have done away with the end document, and that will be a perpetual problem. Yeah, so take note in case you are getting too many wahala. So it may just be because the end document has been deleted in the process. Now, this guy is not even answering again. So what else can we do? The normal site is not working. Okay. Now, so let's come back here. So you can see all this citation is not working again because we have something else. So it's actually Lampo 1985 now. And this note now is also different. It's notes. Yeah, notes this. Yeah, that's why it wasn't working. Yeah, so we can do the same in all the places. So this is lamp port. Okay, yeah, we have it here. And then, okay, let me just copy what we have there, Jared, before. This one, you just come here. So that what you have in the references.beep is what you need to copy down here to avoid all these errors. So when you start out, really, it can be like, oh, at some point you feel like giving up. But once you master it, you just love it. So now that we have referenced properly, so you can see it will automatically bring the references and then it will do the citation again. The site T is still not working here. So maybe we should just rest it. So site P is working, but I was still expecting the site P to show something different. Let me check the author here again. Oh, it's still there now. So it's still not doing anything special. Okay, we can live with that for now. Yeah. Okay, so the last, so you can see it brought the references by itself, even without you listing it. Let me see, is this thing necessary? I suspect it's necessary, but let me just see what it is necessary for. Aha, it's really necessary. So we need some kind of, so I think that may even be what is determining the, because this UNSRT now, I know there are other things. Yeah, okay, let me see. UNSRT NAT, for instance. Let's see if that gives us something different for site P. Yes, but now it's actually listing out the names and all those things. But is that what I really want? Okay. I'd rather stay with this numbering thing. But I mean, you can explore this better and get something out of that. Okay, so the last part is after all has been said and done, you have your references. So you have this reference style. You can list the references if you like. For instance, now if I'm going to do beep tech, so I mean, I'm not. I won't worry about beep for this, but because I've done it for overleaf. So now, if you are, after all has been said and done, and you want to put some things in your appendix, maybe some extra thing, maybe some graphs that are not necessary in the body of the work, or some calculations which are not necessary in the body of the work, you may now do appendix. And that starts with this, what you have here. So that's / appendix, and all the appendixes will now come after that. We go back here. So appendixes come, of course, it is still before end document, but it comes after bibliography. Well, in some papers, the appendices come before references. But what I think should be is the appendices. Well, of course, it's all about what each journal wants, right? So you can have, so appendices can also be in sections too. So you have section appendices. Maybe you can say appendix. Okay, A appendices. So I go again. Maybe it has a title. You give it that title. So you want to create another one. Just come after the subsections. You can also have maybe B appendices or whatever. Of course, you can also suppress the whole A and B thing. So you can just put a star here and then say you want to call it appendix A. That's another way to go about this. So so you have power, you can choose that. So in that case now, you can have appendix B, so that you just dictate what it should do for you. So you see, you have many options. You can go any way you want based on what you are doing. So like this. So I mean, you can just play around with this thing. So I think I want to stop here. Just like I said initially, with all you have learned now, you can actually build on it to become a guru. In fact, maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, if you really take this seriously, you can organize a seminar that I will attend myself and come and learn something new. So that is how this whole thing works. It depends on the commitment, the time you give to it. So are there questions? I know we have a lot to take in already. So any questions, please? Okay, I think somebody dropped. The reference style should also support the author year format. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Ogunjo. Thank you very much. Yeah, somebody has a question.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, your sound is breaking, so I couldn't really pick what.
Yes.
Somebody has a question. How do we copy and paste tables from other platforms like Folder or Python or R? Now, well, copying table from Dr. Dick, I'm not hearing you.
So appreciate you
Dr. Diko, can you type in the chat? Because I couldn't pick what you said. So Michael Okone is
Can you
asking.
hear
Yeah, it's
me?
breaking. Maybe you can type in the chat. Hello? Okay, yeah, let me take the question I have here. I couldn't hear Dr. Diko. Dr. Diko, I think I'll advise you type in the chat. So you have what is this now? How do we copy and paste tables from other platforms like Folder or Python or R? So if you want, you may not be able to copy tables directly. You need to if the table is not already in text format, you have to type it in text format. Another thing you can do is, with AI these days, you can just upload it on ChatGPT or somewhere and tell it to write a LaTeX code to represent the table for you. That can be done efficiently. I work with R a lot, with Python a lot, I mean. So if I generate pictures in Python, all you just need is upload it to Overleaf if you're using Overleaf, or put it in the same folder. So copy the picture from Python, from your Python folder. You can save pictures automatically in Python, figures. So you can put that in the folder in the LaTeX folder you're working with, and then you can build that, and that works. So, but for tables, you may need to, if the table is already not in the Python in the LaTeX format, you have to put it in that format, and of course you can use AI to make it faster. So, any other question, please? Okay, is there a standard overleaf package for curriculum vitae? Well, so just like I started with, right? If you want to write a CV, there are many CV formats. So if it is an academic CV, you can just go online and say overleaf academic CV format. Okay, something like this. So, and then you just go for it. You look around. So you click this now, right? So you're going to have so many templates. Okay, why is this one taking me here straight? So you have to look. Okay, this one is someone's specific CV. Okay, well, this is academic CV, so let's just see. So you can just open the template and start editing. So just open the template on Overleaf. So you can get so many formats. So once you see what you like, you can take it and start editing. All right. This video will be on the BMA YouTube channel. And of course, if you want to, I also have things like what is it called now? I have, yeah, you can see this CV now. It looks like a proper US format, US academic format. So you can just begin to edit already. You can, so it looks really cool. So that's your name now. You just go there and just edit. You don't even have to do so much work. Everything has been done for you. Just put your own name. Let me see where I can put my name now. Up, where is that your name? Yeah. So for my name, I can just say, I just put my name there, Emmanuel. So you have different formats online. So once you see the one you like, just open it as template and start editing. So you can see my name is up there now. Then I can begin to edit every other thing and see how it all goes. So for somebody who was asking, we are going to post this on the BMA page. So let me check again. And probably if maybe you came before it was posted, or after it was posted rather. I think I can still trace that in the chat now. Our moderator posted it earlier. Let me see if I can quickly trace it. Okay, so this is the BMA channel. This is the BMA channel. So I'll repost that. I'll repost that. Meeting group chat. Okay. So yeah, that's the BMA channel in case you came later. Then of course, I also have a YouTube channel where I teach maths, and I also teach Python. Like I have like 19 videos already on scientific computing with Python. So different things you can do as a mathematician or physicist or engineer using Python. So I'm also putting that in the chat right now. Where is the chat now? So I'm currently on a drive to get 500 subscribers. So you want to share in your community, of course, and you have very useful information to get there. So I guess if those are all the questions, we can take it back to Johnny. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Thank you. Hello.
Hi, thank you very much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
grateful.
Thank
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I hope to follow your YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hope you know who's talking.
Oluwatosin. Is it?
Antonio.
Ah,
Formally.
Medaho. Interesting. Anayaton, that's a long time. Wow, lovely.
Really long time.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
interesting. So I was seeing Obasi. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you so much.
Yes, you are saying that name. You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Nice one. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. All
I
right.
also want to appreciate you for such beautiful presentation. In a
Thank
very
you,
short
sir.
time, you presented a whole package.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what we
big
do as
one.
DMA. Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for your contributions.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Moderator, over to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Polusi, God bless you, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice to have you again here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Dansu, for the presentation. I think I learned this when I was done with my undergrad, and I learned it the hard way.
Wow.
And I think I'm still learning some things. And from the session, I've learned a few things as well to add to that. So
Nice.
thank you for that. And I think these are things that should be added to some undergraduate programs as well, because by the time you are doing your master's, you should be able to, just the example you gave, you should be able to write some real things and present your findings in LaTeX format and not keep using the MS Word format. And I think for me, the most part that interests me most is how neat your work can become, because I know how I struggled with the Microsoft when I was using it for my undergraduate project. So
exactly.
I think it's, if you have it as a skills, you are going to, even for me personally, I don't even like using Microsoft Word, even for assignments that or tasks I'm asked to work on, except they specifically ask me to use Microsoft Word. Else I try to use the LaTeX because it's easier, neater, and the rest. So
yes,
thank you so much for
things
that.
that don't have equations too, right?
Absolutely.
I will just get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that. And for all the participants that stayed with us to the end, I believe you've learned a lot. May not be as comprehensive as you expect, but it's still something you should go back and try to work on. If you're already writing a research and then you are currently, maybe you've been using Microsoft Word, you could try to take out some time. It's going to take you some time for the first start, but then you could take out and try out this. And if you get stuck and maybe some generative AI tools, they are not still helping, you could still reach out to Dr. Dansu and he may be able to help you figure out a few things, just so that you can also have this as a skills. And aside that, we had our founder around, but I think he has gone already. So won't say much. If you want to join the Black in Maths Association, you could still use that. But note, if you are working on a research with Black in Maths, nobody's going to accept any Word format. It's strictly LaTeX. So
Yeah.
these skills are still things that you have to have handy and you would have to use. But you are welcome to join, and thank you once again, everyone. And I think it's time we call it a day and we wrap up here. Thank you, everyone, once again for attending. And thank you, Dr. Dansu, for the nice presentation.
Yeah.
I think we'll end the meeting here.
Thanks for coming, everybody. See you some other time. I think for Q4, we should be having something about the maths behind artificial intelligence. So let's look forward to that. So See you somewhere. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Bye.